Hi, I'm Chastity with I Need Thee, and in this video I want to show you how I make raw milk butter. I have shown in my video about my raw milk routine. If you'd like to go watch that video, I'll show you my process from start to finish of when I bring my raw milk in the house and then putting it into my jars, letting it sit overnight in the refrigerator, and then the next day taking the cream off of the top of my jars. And so I need that cream in order to make butter. So I have taken the cream off of the top of my half-gallon mason jars, and this is the cream that I got off of 7 jars. And so I'm going to now just take this cream, put it into my food processor, and it will separate and turn into butter. It'll separate between the buttermilk and the butter. It does help if your cream is a little warmer at room temperature, and it'll make into the cream a little bit quicker if you do that. So I'm gonna pour my milk into my food processor. This takes a few different times. I can't fit it all in there, so I just put a little bit at a time, mix it up, and it will turn into butter. So here we go with our first round of butter. All right, so my first batch of butter is now complete, and so I have poured what was in my food processor into my strainer, and then it goes in, the buttermilk will go into the mason jar. And so I'll scrape the extra that's in there. It works best if you do this in the sink and not on a counter to help catch what maybe your jar doesn't catch, or use a bigger bowl. I like to use the jars because that's what I'm going to end up storing it in. And I will use the buttermilk. Mainly I use it to make pancakes. So, all right, so I will start then my next batch of cream. It does go a lot quicker if this cream is at room temperature, and it is totally fine to leave your cream sitting out most of the day even. If you make cream cheese and whey, you would put that in a jar and just set it out for days until they separate. So with raw milk, you can do this. I've been told before that raw milk won't spoil, it'll just sour. So it is okay to leave this milk sitting out, letting it, or this cream, and let it come to room temperature. It will turn into butter a lot quicker, almost half the time, if it is warmer instead of just coming out of the fridge. So I'm going to continue letting this cream come to room temperature, and then I will finish making my butter in my food processor, and I will show you when I'm finished how much butter I got out of this and the buttermilk that I received. Okay, so all of my cream has been churned into butter through the food processor, and I have ended up with a half-gallon of buttermilk, and then my butter is still straining through the strainer. Some of the milk is still dripping out of it. Next, I'm going to take my butter and run it under cold water to make sure that I get all of the milk out of it, and then I will just put it in a bowl, and I can either keep it in the fridge or out on the counter, but I don't like to do that for very long just because I seem to have some milk that stays in there a little bit. So I think in the fridge is best, but if you like it nice and soft, then it could stay out on the counter for a couple of days also. Okay, and here is our finished bowl of fresh butter.